Hello there everyone, this is Brandon and this is the 10th instalment of Brandon's Log. Big 1-0, big deal. Now, today is Wednesday, so if you cast your mind back to my last Wednesday blog, it is the major stage production, and today was a very physical day for me, as the group that I'm with, we're devising our own piece, as you may remember, and we set for the work this week to be a full improvisational workshop, essentially, to help us build our ideas, mainly with plot, see what happens, because sometimes people can just formulate ideas and work off each other better way. That's what we had in mind anyway, and it did work to some extent. We didn't get overly a lot done, because we were waiting for the small room rather than the big room, because the acoustics were just awful. I mean, if one person's talking, you're not going to hear anybody else. Well, anyway, we managed to get the small room, and we started doing improvisational games. Few just to warm up. Obviously, we played Splat just to get, people's energy up. And then Zip Zap Boing. These should be, if you're a drama student, performance student, any kind of theatre-loving, person. These are games you should recognise, as they are used throughout the country. And I mean throughout, I did it at GC. No, I didn't do it at GC. I did it at A level. And that was all the way back up in Hinckley, so yeah, it goes that far too. But the main games that we used to help with our process was, again, some ones to get into the improv kind of mindset, and that was the yes game, where essentially two people can have more, but we stuck to the basis of two people. One would say, "Oh, I haven't seen you in ages, how have you been? Oh, I've heard that you," and then would say something, something quite personal, or something just crazy or random, and that other person would have to go, yes, that's true, and just agree to whatever they said, and then elaborate on that story more. So like if I said, oh, hey, haven't seen you in a while, last I saw, I heard that you kind of got hit by a giraffe at a petting zoo. I don't know, first thing that came to mind, they'd have to go, yes, it was weird, because I was kind of in the enclosure, I was petting the goats, and then there's a giraffe there. I was like, what are you doing here? Next thing I knew, boom, hoof to the face. Something like that, and it would go back and forth between the pair, going, oh, I heard you do this. Oh, yes, but then again, I heard you do this. To which, yeah, it's a very funny game if you can, get the randomness and you can somehow explain all the stuff that they're saying. So that's a good one to use. We then played the alphabet game, which obviously two or more people given a scenario, but then you have to continue the story one sentence at a time, each person getting one sentence each, but would have to follow obviously the alphabet. So the first sentence would have to begin with an A, and then a B, and then a C, and so on. Which is, it's a really fun game. Quite surprisingly complex, to be fair, because you're thinking of how to progress the story, how to make everything make sense, but also remembering the alphabet, because you get to a certain point and go, hang on a minute, A, B, C, D, E, F, G... Yeah, okay, I'll get it now. I know where I am at. But, yeah, all around fun game. We then went on to play Party Quirks, which you may recognise from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Because if you've not seen that show, do. It's fantastic. Best improvisational show ever. They need to bring it back. It was fantastic. So, yeah, Party Quirks is essentially there's a host at the party, and all the guests that arrive are a character or a characteristic, and the host has to guess what they are, essentially. Now, I was a host for one of the two games that we played of this, and one person was paranoid that I was going to kill them. To which I didn't guess at all. It took me ages. I kept going, you're paranoid about something. And they're going, go on. And it's like, oh, have you got a gun? Oh, you're paranoid I've got a weapon. You're paranoid that I'm going to hurt you. And they go, close enough. So yeah, that can be quite fun. Can involve everyone really with that. Don't just write your own character thing. Get everyone to write a characteristic thing, and then pull them all together and then pick from a hat, essentially. That's the best way to get varied results. People doing more stuff. Very hectic, so it's very fun to be in, very fun to watch as well. Don't know if you can hear that, but there's a ton of fireworks going off. It's the 10th. It's like they're 5 days late. Jesus. Well, anyway, other than that, we went on to play a more plot-driven devising game, essentially. We, as a group, we want to use this pivotal thing in our production of there being either a door or something, and or a portal, essentially somewhere that leads to a fantasy world. And it's either this decision of all these people that come together to go through the door or to just leave it alone. And what we kind of came up with was everyone would be a singular emotion, like Inside Out, if you've seen it. But obviously there are 8 of us, so we went for a bit more diverse than the 5 that already just instantly come to mind. And it was really interesting to see, because there were some characters that were very overpowered by other, emotions, and were easily swayed, some were not. And it turned out that 2 did not want to go through the door at all, so much so that they would just leave, and the rest would then go through, because they were like, oh, well, at least I can see the benefits of going through, rather than just not going through at all. Curiosity may have gotten the better of them. To which I thought that was really interesting, because then you might have this thing of, well, when we started it was like, who left the door open, essentially? Oh, someone else has gone through, someone we don't see. That's kind of what led us onto it. But I kind of thought of this little idea of, oh, these people are going through the door to help find this person that's gone through because they're lost. And that's the last known place that they've obviously gone, because they left the door open. Whereas others are like, nope, can't be done, you can't, they're gone now, that's it, gone. So some were left behind whilst others went through into this fantasy world. And I thought it could be interesting if those characters who were left behind came back and gone, oh god, they've all gone through it now. Well, what's the point of this anymore? Either they're all together and they're all safe and we're just left by our lonesomes. I guess we have to go save them now. See, it kind of creates some kind of subplot thing. I'm not overly sure. It's just an idea, and I'm not overly a writer of big productions with many people. I normally stick to sketchy stuff. Not sketchy as in, that's a bit shit, but sketchy as in, haha, that's a good sketch. Hopefully is what people say. But other than that, yeah, good day. Quite worn out. It was very physical. Surprisingly how physical that is. But yeah, other than that, all good. And thank you very much for watching. I'm Brandon. See you tomorrow.